coach. So you're wondering, how do you actually make social media work for you? You've been posting on it, or maybe you've been resisting to post on it because you just don't know what to do, how to do it, when to post, when not to post, and how is it that the social media thing even works. In this video, I'm going to give you a simple structure that you can follow if you are a life coach or a business coach that is pursuing social media. These 5 C's are going to help you really expand your social media presence. The first C is clarity. And you may go, hey, listen, I am very clear about what I do. I want to invite you to a little conversation, and something that even I discovered recently is every platform that you want to be present on has a different kind of clarity that you need. For example, if you look at our YouTube platform, which is where you're watching this video, you'll find there's a kind of clarity that we have in the kind of content that we post. The clarity is either it will help you learn some coaching skills or some business coaching. But if you port over and you look at my social media profile, say my Instagram, you will see the content that is posted there is mostly revolving around relationships. It's mostly revolving around money. It's mostly relationship around business. It's around mindset. And the reason for this is because every platform has a different sense of clarity of what really is attractive to the listener and the watcher on that platform. It also stems from what is it that you are trying to achieve in that platform. My platform of Instagram is designed to get me on podcasts or fulfill the duties of my own personal podcast, or it is to get me speaking opportunities, book deals, and other kinds of opportunities that may open up for me as a coach. Whereas when I'm on YouTube, my greatest purpose is to serve you as a coach and give you the best tools I possibly can to live a more extraordinary life and build your coaching business in a beautiful way. Clarity is all about knowing who is it that you serve on the platform that you're trying to create content for, and what is the desire of the person on the other end. If you're not clear about your niche, if you're not clear about your topic or your conversation that you want to have on that particular platform, you will find yourself resisting creating content, because most of the time you would want to create something and then you would go, well, I don't know if this works for my audience. Or you would go, what should I even create? And you would run into the blank paper problem. So my invitation would be, firstly, is to get really clear about who you serve and how you want to serve them on that particular platform. And that brings me to the second C, and that is content. Content is what you create once you know who you're serving and how you want to serve them. And for that, you need to do a little bit more study. See, when I have 9 to 20 minutes here on YouTube with you, I have an opportunity to be a little bit more expressive, give you a little bit more context, give you a little bit better story so you can relate to what I'm about to say. But let's say if I'm creating this content for Instagram or TikTok, where I have anywhere between 10 seconds to a minute to be able to give you the greatest value, I have to learn how to make my content less contextual and more directive, where it makes the point within 30 seconds. It's almost a different skill, which is why you want to ask yourself, what is the skill that you have? If you are somebody who likes expressing a lot more, you want to give context and container, you want to pick a platform like a podcasting platform or a platform like YouTube, where you have the opportunity of the customer or the viewer coming in with the expectation that whatever they're going to watch will be anywhere between 9 minutes to an hour, depending on the platform that they're consuming it at. If you start posting hour-long content or chopping up your hour-long content for social media like Instagram, the expectation of the customer is not to receive that. And so they're not going to give you the same level of engagement. Ask yourself, what is the type of content I want to post? What is the length that I appreciate? And start with that. Starting with the content that you like to produce anyways allows you to get easier start in your social media journey. The third C is connection. See, often we forget, because we are sitting in our room just by ourselves, recording to a camera, that we are actually talking to another human being. And because we forget that, we forget to build that relationship, that connection. We forget to kind of put ourselves into the mental state of as if you're speaking to someone. When you're speaking to someone, your energy is different, your vibe is different, your connection is different. So instead of thinking about, I'm talking to a camera and I must panic and I must do these things because it's a camera, instead of that, think about that camera as a person. I would go as far as sticking a photo of your potential client or a client that you're speaking with as you're producing that video, so you speak to a person. Not only our energy changes, the way we communicate changes because you're speaking to a person. Often I'm told, hey Ajay, when I watch your videos, it feels like I'm sitting right by you. When I see you or listen to you on podcast, it feels like it's so intimate. It's so comfortable. It feels so welcoming. And that happens because when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking to a camera. I'm imagining that person. I'm imagining you in front of me. And because of that, I'm speaking to you. I'm not speaking at you. The fourth C is the tricky one. The fourth C is consistency. You see, a lot of the time we would have a great start because we are all quick starts in some way, right? We love getting started. We're passionate about this thing that you want to do. You will watch this video and you want to get at social media, and you will go at social media, and you may produce one video and second video and third video, but somewhere along the line, because we don't get the response that we wanted, or it didn't happen fast enough, or whatever the story may be that we tell ourselves, we stop doing what we actually wanted to do at once. And when we stop doing certain things, the compounding effect of a video diminishes, and we lose all the traction that we might have gained in the mind of the same viewer even that have been watching your videos. Some of you have been watching my videos for years at this point. Some of you are new followers and new viewers. Some of you are watching this video for the first time. But irrespective, if I don't produce the next video, I have a lesser opportunity of re-engaging in a conversation with you. I have a lesser opportunity of engaging in a conversation with you for when you're ready for one of my products or one of my coaching services. And because of that, we may not form a bond. And that is one of the key reasons why you want to stay consistent. Also, with consistency comes education. Because if you're producing a piece of content again and again and again in different formats, in different ways, in different areas, in different fields, after some time, you also learn how to do it more easily, more conveniently. You see what works and what doesn't work. So with this consistency, you also bring in education. I want to share with you a quick story about something recently that happened. So recently I committed, hey, listen, I don't only want to produce for YouTube and podcasts. I actually want to serve my audience also on Instagram. And so I started producing content very specifically for the platform. And when I first started producing for the platform, I couldn't put two and two together. And the reason was, how do you communicate a complex idea in 30 seconds or less? And because of that, I was getting so frustrated. And as I was getting frustrated, I was doing a few videos and then I was stopping, and doing a few videos and then I was stopping, until I realized that I need to take the advice that I am offering to people around me all the time, which is to get consistent about it. So to get consistent, I started producing, I started dedicating a day to record every week, and I was getting a few videos done on that day. But soon enough, I realized that I had a gap of education. And because of consistency, I found this gap of education. As I found this gap of education, I hired a coach to come in and coach me on how to really fulfill that gap of education and training that I needed and coaching that I needed. And soon enough, I find myself producing content for a whole month, sometimes in a matter of 3 hours. And that was phenomenal. And I couldn't have figured it out if I didn't consistently try to produce that content, failed at it, to find what works, what doesn't work, and what is it that I need to keep awareness towards, get coaching towards, get training towards, so I can get good at it. So consistency is not only because over time, it will get really more easy for your clients to remember you and recall and have value being given by you because they've seen many videos and many pieces of information from you, but also because you get better. And when it gets easier with time, you find you're not really having a problem of consistency because, well, you don't have to struggle to get in front of the camera, or you don't have to struggle to write that piece of content. You don't have to struggle to figure out how to set up the light or whatever that is blocking you right now. You're just going at it because you're consistent and you're doing it again and again and again. And the fifth element is call to action. Call to action is you inviting your listener, your watcher to do something. When you invite a person go from listening to something to do something, not everybody's going to do. A small percentage of people are going to do, but whoever does that next thing will have a bigger transformation with you, will have a bigger change with you. And so even a small percentage of people with every piece of content having a transformation allows you to overall have a greater connection with that person, right? So say, for example, below this video, I ask you to download a book or watch another video, which I will. What you would do is you would go ahead and watch another video. Some of you will at least. And as you watch another video, you now have, instead of spending 10 minutes with me, you spend 20 minutes with me. And at the end of that video, guess what happens? I ask you to watch another video. And then that time increases to 30 minutes. I have a significantly better chance of impacting your life by spending 30 minutes with you than 10 minutes with you. I have 3x my time with you and potentially 3x the returns that you will experience by spending that time with me. Now, call to action doesn't always mean you have to sell something, which is what people think it is. Call to action is you inviting somebody to do something more with you. It could be download of a PDF, it could be watching another video, it could be listening to a podcast, or it could be purchasing a program with you. Whatever it is, just give them a call to action. Don't just stop at content and then say bye-bye to them. Tell them to do something with you a little bit more. And that brings me to my bonus for you. And this bonus is going to become more valuable as you publish more content. And this is one of the classic mistakes that we all make, especially as social media creators, is that we create content and we keep creating content that we feel we are called to create. And sometimes in that we miss the message from the universe. Because sometimes what would happen is you may go, well, I want to create content around money or creating money, and I just want to talk about that. But if the world is not responding to it, if your clients are not responding to it, if your people that are watching you or listening to your content are not responding to it, there's a possibility that the universe is trying to nudge you in a direction that may be better for you to explore. For example, when we review our content here on YouTube, we find that there's very particular type of topics that tend to do better, that have more viewership, more subscribers, more comments, which means we are having better engagement with you. So instead of creating content that is always whatever I feel like recording, I tend to create content that would resonate better with you. Like content like this, we know business content or content that helps you build your business does a little bit better because these are tools that are only available behind a paywall. So instead of that, we give it to you absolutely for free. And that's why you tend to engage more with us, you tend to watch more, you tend to leave more comments, you tend to share these videos a lot more. And so we're just offering more of that to you. So look for data, review that data, and update your plan based on that data, update your content based on that data. Create more content that is doing better so you can find a real pattern, not only for what your heart says, but also what the world's telling you they would like to hear from you. And that will create the next wave of success for social media for you. Now, there's one skill that every coach needs to get successful at social media. It's beyond the scope of this video, which is why I'm putting up a link for you where you can click and watch the next video that I tell you the one skill that every coach needs to become successful at social media.